Hi, this is the lesson number 11 in the series of British literature, and till now we have discussed about Anglo-Saxon and then Anglo-Norman literature, and now we are coming to the age of Chaucer. You may have heard this name, Geoffrey Chaucer, Sir Geoffrey Chaucer. So by his name this age is declared as the age of Chaucer. It starts somewhere around 1330 and up till 1400, means almost by the age of Chaucer, means the writer himself. And what were the historical and political backgrounds of this age we shall be discussing first. And in among the historic events we have the first 100 years of wars. These were the war between England and France. How it was so? You know that in 1066, French government or the King of France got a hold of the England, and now the France government or the French government was ruling over England. Now the people of England, they were quite now have such awareness that why not they should throw the French government out of England. So they were struggling for their rights, and they were fighting against the system as the Indians did against the English people or English government. The same was happening with the between England and France. So there was several wars across these 100 or 116 years exactly, if I tell you. So these wars happened between 1337 to 1453. Sometimes these wars are also called as the 116-year war. And in these wars, what happened that end of the day means there were several short little wars. Such wars, England managed to defeat the French government, and somewhere French government was also winning. So overall, there were four important wars in that period of 100 years. The first was the Battle of Crecy, then the Battle of Poitiers, then Battle of Orleans, and then Battle of La Rochelle. These are not that important names, but if you could just read them once, that's enough. And England won the most of these wars in that period of 100 years. Why they won? Because the England army or the people who were fighting against the French government, they used long bow weapons, and the French government or French army used the crossbow weapon. What is the difference between them? That with the long bow weapon, they one can easily mark with the arrow long way further, as the crossbow weapon cannot do that. So there was the difference between the efficiency of these two weapons. So eventually what happened that the people of England, they managed to get succeed in many things. What they got as a success, English people got their identity, they got their language. So many things which really brought the change as we had after 1947. So we shall discuss about those changes after that the period of 100 war ended in 1453. What were the major changes? We shall discuss about that a bit later. And number two, what was the historic event next? That was the Black Death. Black Death means plague, and it spread all over Europe, and it consumed almost one third population of the Europe. Means so many people died because of plague caused by the rats. And the period of the Black Death was from 1347 to 1351, and all the European people were suffering from this. And it came to light that it was so terrible that whoever came in contact with that plague or virus could die just within 5 days. And it really brought awareness in the mind of the people. How? Because earlier people used to believe in church, God, and religious power, but now when they saw that Black Death is consuming everyone, be it clergyman or an ordinary one, everyone is just dying because of this disease. People started questioning the uh, authorities, questioning the religious institutions, means what they are doing and why they are not managing all these deaths and diseases. And eventually it really gave the way for medical science, and scientific approach and temperament really came up, and people started thinking scientifically and thinking about how to heal such disease or such illness. So, as a conclusion, we can say that the religious institutions started having their downfall, and the scientific institutions were now seeing their ground to stand. The third historic event of that age was the revolt of peasants. Peasants means the labor working class farmers, and it happened in the year 1381. And this revolt was led by the two people. uh, their name are Wat Taylor and John Ball. And at that time, what were the cause behind this revolt? First, as we know that many people died because of Black Death, and there was a famine as well. Famine means sukha, and so there were no crops, and people were dying of hunger. At that time, even the government imposed so much or so many taxes, as we can see in these conditions as well, that there are number of taxes that government are imposing, no matter where how poor the condition of these poor people are. So when the working class or the poor class, when they were suffering from all directions, the government was also causing them trouble. Black Death and famine had already made them suffer a lot. So they had nothing in their hand and but to rise to the occasion, and then they revolted against the government. It was also against the government because they were treated inhumanly, means there was no treatment, good treatment to the peoples, to the working class, to the common people. Still the elite class was enjoying. There was a difference. The common people or the poor class was suffering, but the people who were in the rich means class or the higher class, they were still enjoying. That is why the peasants or the poor people, they revolted against the system. And what was the first action they took? They captured the Tower of London. It is a specific place in or specific tower in London, very famous one. In number of literary works, we see this name, the Tower of London. They captured this place, and in that tower, many of the people of elite class and aristocrats used to live. So they just got hold of all these things, and as a result, what happened? What were the result of this peasant revolt? The taxes were first lift off. Taxes were removed. So some relaxation was given. And second, what the government will do to improve the condition of these people. So several promises were also made in this direction by the government. But end of the day, okay, taxes were off, but still the rest of the conditions were quite the same. There was not much difference to the common people by the promises of the government. And one more thing, the peasant revolt became the content of so many literary topics, right? Whether it's a poetry or prose, across the centuries, many writers took this peasant revolt as the content of their work. So now, as the result of these three historic events, especially of the result of that historic 100-year war, what we see that the government or the people who were ruling, who were in ruling class, there were the people of French and government, sorry, English origin, means the people were in ruling class of French and English origin. There wasn't any question of nationality, but the main point was that whatever or sorry, whichever way they were ruling over England, it was that they were imposing French language or they were imposing their language and even their history or means whatever is according to French, people or French government, they were including these things in the education in every system. But as the result of that war, what was the benefit to the people of the England? First, the English became the language of the court in 1362. So in the administration, this language became in 1362, and then English was also it also became the language of Parliament in 1363. So these are just facts. In 1362, it became the language of the court. In 1363, it became the language of the Parliament, and in 1386, it became the language of the school and institutions and in teaching. So earlier there was French language dominating, and so now English language was coming. So by the result of this, we can see that English identity was now starting to rise. Earlier it was only about France and French. Now English and England, their identity is rising. So this is the major result we see, or major change we see in the age of Chaucer. So in this lesson, this is all about historic events we have talked. In the next lesson, we shall start our study about Sir Geoffrey Chaucer. What were his important works? We shall discuss in that next lesson. So thanks for watching this lesson. Have a nice day.